Welcome to Backyards and Bevvies. Grab your favorite bevy, pull up a chair, and enjoy the ride. Hey, B&B fam. This podcast is sponsored to you by BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Is there something getting in the way of your happiness? I know when I traveled the world, I had many days where BetterHelp's worldwide service of licensed professional therapists could have helped me speak to someone no matter where I was in the world about whatever was happening with my life, and with zero judgment. With their ability to match me with a therapist that best fits me, I know my mental health would have been way better back then. Believe me, I needed it. But I'm here to share a way for you to take back control of your mental health by telling you about BetterHelp's awesome services they have for you to talk with a pro about your life through their app or just online. Whether it is a video session or some simple messaging, their team is here to help. I went to check out the app for myself just to see how easy it was to use, and after a series of questions, I was told I would be able to start matching with a therapist in under 48 hours. And what is super rad is that it's affordable and they even offer financial aid too. So come join the 2 million users that have already been helped and gain back control of your mental health by visiting betterhelp.com/backyards for 10% off your first month. Remember, BetterHelp is therapy done securely online. Don't forget to use the special code BACKYARDS and let BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, help you to start living a happier life today. And I'm proud to be an American.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Good morning. It is the 4th of July.
I know you're going to kick us off that way. That was great. Little Lee Greenwood to start the day?
Well, it is the 4th of July.
It is the 4th of July.
We are doing, well, okay,
y'all.
so by the time this comes out, this is the 6th of July. But we are doing a backyard.
We're recording on the 4th.
We are recording on the 4th. We've done this a few times where we've taken special holidays or occasions and we've recorded. It doesn't make that big of a difference, but I think it does add to some parts of the show for us, at least, to give the listeners something fun. So I thought I'd kick it off with a little Lee Greenwood.
It was good.
I think that was one of the very first cassette tapes I ever owned.
Really?
Yeah. I know I had Tiffany, I Think We're Alone Now, on a record.
You love that song.
I do love that song. Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer.
Always a classic.
Always a classic. And then, somehow Lee Greenwood snuck into my tape collection.
I love that.
So it was like MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, Lee Greenwood.
That's awesome. I think I've told you this before, but he used to be one of my clients when I worked at APA. Super nice dude.
Super nice dude.
Super nice. Very humble. Very grateful.
Never been asked to sing the national anthem, but
sing that song. I mean, it's a great song. Gives you the feels every time you hear it.
It does. And today we were going to record on Saturday.
We were.
And we've been really busy with family and stuff in town, and so we decided that we were going to do it this Monday morning because you had off, and we were like, most people have off, and those who don't, we thank you so much for working your tail off to do whatever it is you do. Mm-hmm. Obviously lots of military people can't get off today, and they're stuck maybe in different countries or training or so them, we thank them. Then there's first responders who are clearly out either putting hands back together
after they've been blown up by fireworks.
Hopefully not too many hands back together, but there's the typical stuff that people just have to do on holidays, and
even down to the cashiers at the grocery store.
Yeah, cashiers.
I have to run to after this to get a couple last minute things for our little barbecue later. Yeah. So we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no, and I think that I've worked on so many holidays as a sound guy doing shows for things that I really did not want to. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, the last thing I want to do right now is be stuck inside, not drinking a cold beer or bevy.
Mm-hmm. Man, a cold beer sounds good.
Sitting on the water watching fireworks.
Yeah.
So again, we thank you all, whoever is out there doing your due diligence.
Yes, we appreciate you.
But 4th of July was always giant for me. I don't know.
And it's your favorite holiday, yeah?
I hated holidays. I hated every single holiday. If you asked me 3 years ago.
No, more longer than that.
I started to come around to holidays about 3 years ago.
I started working on you almost 6 years ago, but it took a while.
I won't say I hated. I just really didn't find them amusing.
Well, you didn't, for a long portion of your life, you and your family were not close. So celebrating family holidays just wasn't your thing.
Yeah, family holidays were easy. Those are gone.
Yeah.
Not because,
you weren't into Thanksgiving.
No.
You were usually on the road. You didn't really have it anyways.
Yeah, I would go to them.
Christmas was not your thing.
Yeah, I would go and I would enjoy them for the family because I know that there's certain things you just don't want to be rude at.
Right.
I didn't want to be rude at Christmas. There's no point in it. But deep down, I was like, ugh, I could really be on a tour bus right now.
Mm-hmm. Or in a hotel room, just eating pizza by yourself.
Yeah, just watching Major League or Dogma or like any of my silly comedy movies and not participating.
Yeah.
But 4th of July always was different to me. I think it started when I was I was young.
Yeah.
Obviously Lee Greenwood.
Oh, yes, yes, obviously.
So way young. But then in high school, me and my buddies, Andy Slop and a bunch of guys, they started doing like the annual 4th of July party out at our buddy's house out in the desert, like towards the desert.
Nice.
And it was giant, always. Fireworks being shot at each other.
Awesome.
I remember one time, one of my ex-girlfriends, she threw a mortar and it rolled underneath she lit it through it and then it rolled underneath this car and all these kids were getting high in there. And I remember as it blew up, I'd never seen hippies get out of a vehicle so fast in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
That's intense. A deer just ran behind you.
It was beautiful.
Scary. It didn't blow up the car.
No. This is just your typical small mortar.
Okay. Still something exploding under a vehicle.
But it was always they were always dangerous. There was always this I guess aura? No. Era? No.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Continue the sentence and then I'll let you know which word is correct.
There's always this beautiful feeling of like danger an aura in the air. Like there's this danger in the air every time you were driving out to this like party and you never knew who bought what Roman candles and how many Roman candles. And then we had Roman candle wars and so to me it was this just a really big party always, and you ate and you drank and we smoked cigarettes all night and probably other things, and it was a blast.
That's awesome.
So I think it always, when I left high school, it was the one holiday that I remember really standing out that I enjoyed. So then I was able to go.
Well, it was also the only holiday that it's normal to celebrate with your friends instead of your family.
True. Yeah, I never even thought about it from that perspective. So maybe it made, so that probably was why. Like, I was able to just go and be...
You were with your family instead of your
family. My family.
Your family.
And my family. And I probably really enjoyed that because I didn't have to, like, go to 14 different houses. And I didn't have to, like... it wasn't 14 different houses. But, I didn't have to...
But, yeah.
Well, no. Well,
other family members, yeah.
Well, and then when my parents were divorced, I had to go to their I had to go to all these different families. So...
Gotcha.
To me, that always was, like, I think what drug me down about holidays. So, yeah, maybe the 4th was the one where I just showed up with my friends and really, really let loose. So, yeah, so then when I was able to then go be on my own, the one thing I always had was fireworks shows.
Oh, okay.
And I loved going to fireworks shows. Even if I didn't, like, actually physically go to them, I could sit off in the distance and watch people pop fireworks off.
Yeah.
So I always just thought it was so fun.
So fun.
So fun. I mean, name me another holiday that you can blow something up.
There isn't one. At least not in America.
I mean, Halloween, dud.
I love Halloween. You're going to get into Halloween once our kids start dressing up. It's going to be cute.
Thanksgiving, blah.
Delicious.
Christmas, all right. If it snows, I always couldn't do Christmas if it was hot.
And you lived in a very hot place.
Sunny, hot Christmas just never made sense to me.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, I can see that. I understand that. 4th of July is fun, and you're right.
Columbus Day, boring.
Yeah, nobody really celebrates it. I don't even have that day off, so it's not a holiday.
I'm trying to think of other holidays that I just I've never gotten into. I don't know, but
Valentine's Day, I'm sure you hate it.
Oh, God.
Not a holiday, that's a day of celebrating.
Thanks, Hallmark.
Mm-hmm.
Hallmark created the worst holiday in the world.
New Year's Eve has fireworks.
Okay, that was the other one, though. But I was able to go out with my friends.
Yeah, that's another family holiday.
Yeah, watch things get blown up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a big blower up of things, though.
No, I remember when you had your bachelor party, which was actually over the 4th of July weekend a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And you had it here in Nashville, and we had a barbecue at my dad's place. And then everybody came over to our house, and we set off the small amount of fireworks that we had gotten. Yeah. And our friend Rachel and I were setting off all the fireworks, and all you guys were just watching.
Yeah, it's so much more fun to watch. I don't know. There's something I understand the pleasure of throwing a firework or, hitting a...
It made me a little nervous.
It's not even the nervous part. If you light it, then you have to run back and look up. I just like to look up.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that.
There's just something about holding a cold beer in your hand.
Yeah. Watching.
A Marlboro Red.
Oh, that sounds terrible right now.
Yeah, it does actually sound pretty terrible. But that's how it used to be, though. It was always a cold beer, ciggy in the hand.
I mean, if it's going to be a cigarette, it's got to be a menthol.
Well, nowadays it was always a menthol.
A Marlboro Red is actually the first cigarette I ever smoked. That's what I started smoking with when I was 16, 15.
Yeah, Marlboro Reds. Camel Wides were another big one back when I first started smoking.
It's funny.
Benson and Hedgen was the very first cigarette I ever smoked.
I think that's what my grandmother smoked.
4th grade. Me and my buddy Larson.
I think so.
Yeah, we went to go buy cigarettes from this place called the Gomez store. It was like this little... It wasn't like a normal gas station. It was strictly just in the middle of the farms, ran by a small family, I think called the Gomez family. And they sold beer, cigarettes, and they might have had a gas pump. And we walked from his house over to this place, and I mean, we could barely see over the freaking the counter. The counter. And I can remember vividly being like, we would like to buy some cigarettes. And the lady like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
But she gave us some of hers, though.
I love it. She's like, I can't sell it to you because I can get arrested. But you can have some of mine.
You can have one of mine. And we went back behind his barn. And this is how young we were, and we didn't really get it. Because my mom smoked Capris growing up, like those little thin ones.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I used to watch her, just huff them down in the kitchen. Then my stepdad smoked, and then his whole family smoked. So it was always around.
Gotcha.
And I always wanted to do it. But I never had seen them actually maybe light one. So I didn't realize that you actually had to put it in your mouth and inhale while, lighting it.
Yep.
So we sat out in the back of his freaking barn lighting this thing with matches.
And it wasn't going anywhere.
He's holding it with one hand, I'm holding matches, and we're like, I don't get it.
I don't understand. Why isn't this working?
And we finally figured it out, but gosh.
When I bought my first cigarettes, which was like the first time that I really tried smoking, I was living in Greenville, South Carolina. I had my driver's permit, and there was a Hooters not far from my high school, and they had a cigarette machine.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, do you remember those things?
Oh, yeah.
And where they had it set up in the restaurant, it's not like it was in the front near like the host stand. It was literally in the back by the side doors. Yep. So you could come in that side, go to the cigarette vending machine, get cigarettes, and walk right back out to the parking lot, and nobody would ever know.
Yeah.
So that's where we always went to get our cigarettes. And then I had a fake ID.
Was it quarters only, though?
I think it was quarters only. Yeah.
So you had to sit there and ding, ding.
Yep.
You're like hurrying up.
Yep. And then I had a fake ID at some point in high school, and we would use that to buy cigarettes at gas stations. But there was only like this one gas station that would take it because they could totally tell that we were way too young.
100%. Yeah, we had something similar. The bowling alley up on Mesa, El Paso Bowl maybe. I forget the name of it exactly. But same thing. Cigarette machine. And it was kind of towards the side, rear side door, So you could come in, hurry up and slide your $3 and probably 50 cents worth of quarters in.
Yep.
Pull the freaking...
Back when cigarettes were cheap.
Pull that thing.
Yeah, the lever, you pulled it out and it came tumbling down. You're looking around, you're like, oh my God.
I'd be so mad when I'd
working.
actually... Oh, but I'd get so frustrated if I pulled the soft pack.
Oh, same. I hated the soft packs. And why is that? I guess it's because there's something so satisfying about like packing the hard pack against your hand. You felt cool doing it. It made a cool noise.
Yeah, there was something to be. There was a rumor that this could be a complete rumor forever, but I'm pretty sure if you pack a pack of cigarettes from Marlboro, there's rings around the cigarette. Supposedly, if you pack it so hard you get down to the 10th ring, you got like a free carton.
What?
That's why it's a rumor.
I've never heard of that.
Wow. You clearly didn't smoke the good stuff.
I didn't. Remember Camel Crushes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You would smush
the
little menthol ball there. That was so satisfying.
Yeah, but
they were way too intense.
All of that came way after, like, the cigarette machines and all that. That was... Camel Crushes that was
towards the end of my high school years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this isn't about smoking.
It's not. We went on a smoking tangent. We are both former smokers, so we just like reminisced about the good old days of smoking. But now it just sounds terrible to me. But
it does.
Once you get out of the habit, it's like, oh no, thanks.
Yeah. Only every once in a while do I ever get the urge, and it's usually late night after some bevies, and I'm like, right now would be a real nice time to have one. But anytime it's hot, I can't do a cigarette.
Yeah,
I can't even think about a cigarette. Right now, actually, just even talking about it, I started to be like, okay,
gross.
we need to
let's move
pump
on.
the brakes. But we did, but speaking on exactly how you said you had a fake ID and all this stuff, I think every generation has that same gas station or same memory, and I think that's what, to me, 4th of July always made special, was because it wasn't just the idea of going and plopping down in a chair and looking up. It was the whole day.
Yeah.
You got up. You knew that you were going to go...
rage all day.
Yeah, so you were preparing kind of all morning.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I got this. I've peed 20 times. I'm going out to the desert, so I've pooped a few times. Okay, like now we can start... All right. Now I got to go pick so-and-so. Well, and this was before cell phones, too, or,
Yeah, so you'd call from the house line.
Some people had cell phones. Some people had beepers, so it wasn't like it wasn't a for sure thing that every person you called was going to have a cell phone. So you had to set everything up like, all right, dude, I'm going to be at your house at 6:30. I got cash. We got to go swing by. And I didn't have a fake ID per se. I would use like one of my buddies' IDs every once in a while, because he had a spare. I think he had a New Mexico. Somehow he had gotten two. Maybe like he had lost one and he got an extra one. So every once in a while he'd let me use his to like get into like a bar or something that they were going to. But that was still further, I think, in my like 16 years old, 15 years old. I was able to go to this one gas station and buy beer. Just walk in, buy it, and walk out.
Wow.
I made friends with the guy. I knew when he worked. It was the perfect.
Yeah, you got to know your people.
High school place, and
you're like McLovin going in
yeah,
there.
exactly. Like all my friends knew too. Like, oh yeah, Phil can buy beer here. So if so and so can't buy beer, we can always fall back on Phil. And it was awesome. So part of the plan, I think, part of 4th of July day was the day. It was leading up to everything, like picking the people up, going and getting the bevies.
Right.
Getting out to the desert or getting out to Josh's house, wherever the party was going to be that year, there was that whole plan. Then you had to go buy the fireworks too. So that was the exciting part.
Right.
Like, okay, all right.
Which ones are we going to get?
I need 4,000 Roman candles because there's obviously going to be a giant Roman candle war at one point tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever had a Roman candle shot at you?
Not on purpose. It has happened, but not on purpose. I will tell that story.
It's not fun.
It's terrifying.
It's a little terrifying because that thing
very terrifying.
For one, it doesn't necessarily fly in the straightest line.
No, it's all wiggly wobbly all over the place.
Well, sometimes you can get a good shot in where it just goes straight out, but sometimes you bob and you weave the wrong direction. It's like a heat-sinking missile.
It is.
Somehow,
it follows you.
Somehow,
it's gonna get you.
Somehow it does, and so.
I also, do you remember cherry bombs?
Yeah.
I almost got really hurt by one of those when I was a little kid.
Clearly, you're dangerous.
Got tossed near me.
Oof.
Yeah.
Lose a toe that way.
Went running. It was close.
Do you remember the Saturn rockets? They came in a box, and there was about, I don't know, let's say they came in boxes like 50.
Oh, a bunch of little ones?
Yeah, there was like they're like little missiles that all sat in a box.
Yes.
And you could get like a 50 shot, or you get 100 shot, or you get like a big one.
And you just lit like one fuse and they would all go off, right? Yeah.
And they didn't do straight up either. They kind of like bobbed out. Someone lit it and then turned it on its side one year and just fired them at everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Great times.
Terrible.
We were horrible children to each other.
100%. Death wish.
All right, go on with. But I want to hear your Roman candle story before we go too far.
Well, I mean, I think that I'm assuming that they were Roman candles. It's funny because this is definitely probably the most dangerous 4th of July experience I've ever had, but is also one of my favorite 4th of July memories. It was my first. I think it was my first 4th of July at Kelly and Brandon's house.
Okay.
And Brandon would always go. This was like his thing. He would throw a huge 4th of July shindig every year. So I think it was the very first year that I had been working for him. And I went out to their house. They used to live out in Hendersonville, right on the lake, and he had a couple boats and jet skis and all the things, and like everybody would go there. All of his buddies would be there. Kelly's friends would be there, and Brandon would buy, I mean, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fireworks. He would go across state lines to get all these different kinds of fireworks and do all these things, and he would set them off right down by the edge of the lake that was at the edge of his property, and all these boats would come and would watch Brandon's fireworks show. Like, they wouldn't go to like the town of Hendersonville's fireworks show. They would come see Brandon's fireworks. And he and his buddy Brian were getting everything set up, and everybody's like hanging out outside by their pool, which is right by the lake. I mean, the property was just beautiful. They would have like catering and all this stuff and drinks and whatever. So we've been there like all day, drinking, hanging out, having a good time. And they would like, I mean, they did it proper where they would like dig into the ground and like put the PVC pipe into the ground to put the rockets in to try and like keep everything safe, because there were like kids there, you know. I mean, he had like, I don't know, 50 or more people hanging out at his house for this. Yeah,
it wasn't your typical.
No, like it was legit. And so they've started setting off the fireworks, and this is right towards the very beginning of the evening of the fireworks display. And as they're going down the line, lighting off, I guess they were Roman candles. I mean, these giant rockets they would put down in these like pipes that would then shoot out of the pipes up over the lake. One of the pipes like wasn't secure, and it fell over after they lit it.
Oh, geez.
And it flew out towards the stack of fireworks. So you see Brian and Brandon literally like dive to get like behind a tree. And then all of a sudden, all these fireworks start going off because they'd gotten lit by the other firework. And all those fireworks start flying towards the house.
Oh my God.
And towards all of us. So people are like running, like duck and cover. I go running from the house towards the fireworks to make sure that my boss is alive. So I'm like running into all the terrifying craziness, like, Brandon, are you okay? It was insane. Thankfully, everybody ended up fine. We got the fireworks like separated, put out, so it wasn't like this huge disaster, and then waited a little bit, everybody calmed down, and then we started the show again. But it could have gone really, really bad. But it was very much like a battle scene. People literally like diving under the like swimming pool chairs and running inside the house.
I would have gone for the pool.
Yeah, true. I mean, you still could have gotten hit by something, but at least it wouldn't explode.
Better chance of being underneath water.
It was pretty wild. But that's one of my favorite memories because it was funny.
Oh my gosh. And did something fly directly at you?
Yeah. They were flying at me, and I was running at them because I was trying to make sure my boss was okay.
Oh my gosh. You're too much.
Loyal. I will run through fireworks to get to you.
Loyalty right here. What's this on your resume here at the bottom? It says you ran towards
tried to rescue my boss.
During a 4th of July show. Interesting. That is pretty, I tended to find shelter during the wars. You know, I wasn't a big battler. Well, and plus I would only spend so much money. I was more interested in the booze and the hang. So when my fireworks were up, I was done. I just could sit there and watch everybody else go crazy. So I think that too, the add to me just not being into fireworks, it had nothing really to do with the lighting of it. It was more the.
I like just to watch.
I like 4th of July watching. When I toured, I always loved the pyro guys because they would always be doing like lasers and smoke effects, but then they would also do the fire and pyro stuff.
Right.
And so to me, I enjoyed. If you saw me watching the show, I probably wasn't watching the show. I was watching it for the effects.
For the effects, yeah. Yeah.
Because I will say that is part of what makes a show great is the effects. And I've gotten to do some fireworks, some 4th of July shows as well. But it was hard because I would just get lost in the show of like fire blowing up or, things happening. I'm like, oh gosh, this is so cool. And I think it all stems just back to my love of 4th of July.
Yep.
There's something about the holiday too, I mean, there's so much about 4th of July. The food.
Definitely.
I mean,
we're going to have ribs later.
Yesterday we were playing the whole, we saw like a Barstool Sports thing where they were asking if you could choose 3 items to make your 4th of July party, but you could only have those 3 items, what would they be? Mm-hmm. And I love questions like that because it's like if you were stranded on a desert island. Right.
What would you have with you?
And you could say easy things like, I'd bring an iPad. Okay, well then it's like, where do you charge? You go. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to have fun with these, right? So to me, I was like, I love this question because I would automatically have a hot dog.
For sure. You and I agreed on that.
4th of July, to me, yes, you can have a hamburger there. That's fine. Or you can have brats there. You can have whatever other meat. Mm-hmm. But a hot dog, there's something about it that just screams 4th of July.
Do I need to pick up hot dogs today when I go to the grocery store?
No, we can. I've eaten enough sausage this weekend. I had brats and stuff.
Save that. I've eaten enough sausage
this weekend. I'm good. Those are my old days in LA.
There's your reel right there.
Yeah. Great. That one went viral. Great. But hot dogs to me, I don't know. There's something. Well, you can hold it. It's like a burrito.
Yeah.
There's something about
very easy to eat while you're hanging out.
Yeah, like a hamburger, especially a messy one or a big one. It's a 2-hander.
Yeah.
Only a McDonald's little cheeseburger is a 1-handed kind of experience.
Yeah.
So that's out. Chips. That was my other choice. That was my other choice because that's a 1-handed event. You can still hold a sparkler in one hand.
Yep.
Or a bevy in one hand, food in the other. Mm-hmm. And then watermelon.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Watermelon and salt is one of my favorite. Freaking so delicious.
So yummy. I agree. Good choices.
Yeah, but you chose baked beans.
Well, I didn't want to choose the exact same things you chose. I kind of imagined, obviously, we're married, we'd be at the same barbecues. Maybe we're ending up with like 6 things instead of just 3 things.
I just think that's a nice wishing.
Oh, rude. Very rude.
It all depends on what fireworks you buy.
Very, very rude.
I'm just being honest here. If we're talking about 4th of July ideas,
I like baked beans. I like to dunk the hot dog bun in the baked beans.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess it depends on which baked beans. Yeah. I like a good Bush's baked beans with the bacon and onions and all that.
Yeah. I mean, what other baked beans could there be?
I don't know. But hot on a summer day, that just doesn't sit right.
That's true.
Then you're gassy the rest of the night. Look, there's enough pyrotechnics happening on a 4th of July. The last thing you need is add any kind of gas to the fire. Especially if you're the one lighting these fires.
Oh my goodness. Yikes.
Yipes. The other funny thing, there's so many things to I like. We go down this like 4th of July idea, and it was funny because on the last show we touched on it just a brief bit, and I got all bent out of shape because we didn't continue down it.
Yes, you did.
Hence why we're here today having a whole show about 4th of July. My love for it is ginormous. But the other part to the 4th of July thing is that it's very well. For one, no other country celebrates it.
Yes, so it's hard, obviously not.
So it's hard to be in another country during 4th of July because
there's nothing going on.
you're like, well, this is kind of boring.
Right.
So you also have to be willing to celebrate it in anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was my thing, is that since I didn't do 4th of July for the blowing up of it, I could still celebrate it with beers and food, and I could still have 4th of July wherever I was in the world, which to me was important.
Yeah. I can get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. You know where else in the United States does awesome 4th of July?
Charleston, South Carolina?
Boston.
Oh, yeah.
When I lived in Boston, those were some of my favorite 4th of July celebrations, too. I mean, they go huge, obviously, with the fireworks and everything like that, and it's all along the river.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing is that they have the hatch shell, this like really beautiful mini amphitheater right on the water, and they have speakers actually that are placed like, I mean, basically in the trees, because you can't see them. So there must be like little speakers that they keep in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all lining the river, both sides of the river, like over in Cambridge, in Boston, and the Boston Pops play. And you can just go hang out, like have a little picnic, bring beer, whatever. And we would actually walk to the river from where I lived in Boston, and we would sit there, and the fireworks are all timed with the music, and so you got to hear this beautiful music and watch all these fireworks, and it was awesome.
Yeah. No, that's I think that as a kid I can remember, like going to events like that, but it wasn't in Boston, obviously, because I didn't live there, but I would love to see fireworks in Boston.
We should definitely go sometime.
Yeah.
A great way to do it, too, is like go catch a Sox game in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Get hammered there and then wander literally like across from Fenway. You just kind of cross over Commonwealth and stuff and go hang by the river and watch all the fireworks.
We used to go to the El Paso Diablos, and they would do a 4th of July spectacular after the game that night.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was part of
baseball, I feel like, is a great tie-in with 4th of July.
Well, we watched the Sandlot yesterday.
We did watch the Sandlot yesterday.
And that's why, when I think 4th of July, I think hot dogs, and I picture the great Hambino.
Hambino.
Grabbing a hot dog for their night game. Everyone else is running to the field, and he's, like yelling, "Wait, guys," while he's filling his hot dog with a ketchup and mustard, and that movie right there is another example of baseball, 4th of July.
Great.
Fireworks, obviously. 4th of July.
Cookouts, being on a lake,
friends.
Yeah.
All those things I think really do bring that feeling of 4th of July to. That's America. That is a good representation of what people, if I was to explain camaraderie, or look, we're all, some of these guys that go to these baseball games are doctors, some are lawyers, some are city workers, some are students, some are just people with no jobs that, are at a baseball game.
Yeah.
But they're all there to enjoy it together. And, then you sit, and you all eat peanuts and hot dogs. And some people are drinking beer, some people are drinking Coca-Cola, some people are drinking water. But everybody's there, and then at the end of the game, no one gets up. Everybody waits, and then the fireworks spectacular starts. And it's that to me is so awesome and so many different levels, because it's not just one person, saluting the flag and yelling, America, and, half naked in his backyard, drunk off his mind.
Right. Ending up in the hospital later after shooting off fireworks.
Because, again, there's all attached to everything good. There's also, so many stigmas or so many bad, things. And one of the bad things is, it's obviously fireworks are dangerous. So, and unfortunately, most people that picture the one person missing a finger or two on the 4th of July is that drunk guy,
right?
Trying to show off, being the asshole.
Woo, America!
Screaming America after he just beer bonged, 4 beers and 13 shots of Jack Daniels. But that to me that is a bad representation of what 4th of July is.
Yes.
The good representation is exactly a baseball game.
I would have to agree. You know, it's another really cool thing that Boston has a tradition of on the 4th of July is they read, like early in the morning, they read the Constitution.
Oh, cool.
On the 4th of July. Like in the old, like, Minuteman, like, gear outfit.
Oh, interesting.
Very Paul Revere style, yeah. So every year they do that. They have a big, like, outdoor concert right downtown near Faneuil Hall. So, I mean...
Boston is very...
It's so central to the birth of America.
A lot of things happen there, you know? Like, I mean, I get it why Boston would be a very, very good spot to see 4th of July.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool. We'll definitely have to go and, you know, take the kiddos and go up there and go check it out. It's a great reminder going and, like, listening to, like, what our forefathers went through in order to establish this incredible country, in order to establish the freedoms that we all get to have here, and then get to celebrate that in this historic city that was such a major part.
Yeah. Well, to keep this in a very happy light, part of, I think, happiness is sacrifice.
Sure.
And there's been a lot of sacrifice throughout the hundreds of years of let's just start with North America. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people have lost their lives to fighting for this land. Mm-hmm. No one's ever going to be on the right side of any kind of perfect, you know, utopia.
Right.
Because there's always going to be growth. There's always going to be places to move forward. But the idea that they wanted to leave a place for a better life was always, like, I think, something really cool that even, you know, you read these immigrant stories to this day and the things that, like, my grandpa came over here from Czechoslovakia.
Yep.
You know, and you can choose a lot of different places to go and set up shop. Mm-hmm. Sure, some potentially do have better things than America. Some people might choose different places because of other things that are more, I guess, intrinsic to what they need.
Right.
But the idea that this is a melting pot, that we're all immigrants, I think will always reign supreme in some sort of light because, you know, I look at my heritage and I'm Spanish, Mexican, Czechoslovakian, and American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, because I was born here.
Right.
But, like, my blood is different because the people that sacrificed for me to be here came from different lands.
Right. Well, and same here. I mean, you know, if you think about it, the only thing that we have in common, if you're talking about heritage like that, is the fact that we were both born in this country.
Yeah. I mean,
because I am not Czech, Spanish, or Mexican. I am about as pale white as you can get, like English and Polish and German and, you know, all Scottish and all of those things. Yeah. But it is, you're right. We were born here in this country, so we do get to share being American together.
I look at some of my Mexican friends as the best, and some of my Mexican family as the best representation of what I can picture. And this is only my views on this because I can't speak for how everybody feels about America, but I know that, like, I can look at my heritage and I can know that, you know, though some of the things that we've gone through or that they've gone through, definitely not I've gone through, more they've gone through, have been the fact that they did immigrate in, that they did have to sacrifice certain things, that they did have to work harder and maybe go through really, really tough times. I think that there's something beautiful behind that, but I also think that they also I look to my past as respect, and I'm like, I don't know all that had to happen for this country to be what it is, and I wasn't there, and I can't speak for any of it. All I can say is that I think if I look to America as inspiration to be happy and smile and try to give my kids the best place to live, the only way I can do that possible is by sharing in the melting pot that is America. Yeah. Like, just because, you know, let's say one person wants to start a Mexican restaurant in America. Well, that is something beautiful to them that they hold true, but that I think the idea is that we should share in that idea.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I have to eat Mexican food every day to support them. The idea is that it's like, oh, here's this cool idea that this person has from a different country. They're bringing it here to share their style.
So we can learn about their culture.
Doesn't mean that I have to necessarily do every single thing that they do, because then that wouldn't make me who I am.
Right.
And, we watch Top Chef a lot.
We do.
And I think that one of the coolest things that I've taken from Top Chef is all the different cultures that Top Chef showcases.
It really does. I've learned so much about different global cuisines because of that show.
But the coolest thing is that they're doing it here in America for everybody else to learn about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what truly is cool about 4th of July, is that you get to be a Mexican American, or you get to be an African American, or you get to be an Asian American.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you were born here, that is part of your culture.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to all together celebrate a day that, sure, maybe there was, who knows how it all went down that day, because none of us were there.
Right.
But we can all say that we're here now, and we should make the best of it, and we should enjoy each other's time. So I think that, to me, is even a deeper feeling, because like you said earlier, it was friends that I spent all the time with.
Right.
So I spent time with way many different cultures than just my Mexican side of the family during 4th of July, like I would on Christmas, or my Czech side, or my Spanish side. So I don't know. There's always been something really, really deep and loving about 4th of July outside of just the idea of go America.
Yeah. Woo! No, I totally agree with you. And I mean, obviously this country is far from perfect. Just like anywhere else, we have a lot of things that we need to change and improve upon, and be compassionate towards each other, and kind towards each other, and forgiving, especially towards each other. But the opportunities that are made available to people in this country are unparalleled. And I think it's very easy for people who do live in America to forget how blessed and fortunate we are to live in a country like this. Yeah. Because we focus on the problems that are at hand, which of course do need to be addressed, but the fact that we are able to discuss those issues and change those issues and have the freedoms to express our opinions about those issues. Yeah. There are many places around the world where you cannot do that, and you will be tortured or killed or anything like that for stepping a toe out of line of what that area's regime says you can or cannot do.
Or you just live in a place that just doesn't, they're going to set the law however they want. Because I lived in Austria for a little while. Right. And it was a great place to live. It's actually, I think, ranked number 1 place to live in the world right now. But they had their own issues. They had plenty of drama that happened.
Everywhere has issues.
And it was stuff that you wouldn't directly associate, them having an issue with, which always made me, smile when I would come back and see the same issue being addressed over there, Yeah. So it's, to me, I don't look at that stuff as much anymore. I don't look at the hate, because the only thing I can do is produce love.
For sure.
So
it's the best thing you
can do. To me, sharing in 4th of July with someone who has never potentially even gotten to celebrate a 4th of July before, it's not about me pumping American culture down their throat. It's about me saying, welcome to America and let's party. Yeah. Because that is always what 4th of July was to me, was let's have fun. I don't really care about the fact that maybe we don't get along that well during class hours or whatever. Yeah. But it's so I think deep down, 4th of July has so many outstanding, cool things behind it, other than just the apparent one that it's the birth of America. Right. Right. I think that it's a celebration for all. I think that any person, that has ever even just traveled to America can celebrate it, because you're here. You might as well.
Yeah, why not?
Jump into the fun, But that's the thing, though, is you have to be a part of it, though. And I think being a part of something is what holds a lot of people back from having that ability to engage, like you were saying. So, if you're here in America, you should be a part of America. Even though it's not perfect. Do your part to make it perfect.
Yeah.
And I think that's like where I started to hear other, like you hear people like celebrities or you hear people starting to kind of be like, like we should bond. We should all get along. Mm-hmm. Like maybe we shouldn't all agree.
Yeah. And that is a very good thing that you just said, because that I think is what people have forgotten or turned a blind eye to is being respectful of another person and being able to be cordial to another person does not mean that you have to think or feel or act the same as that person. Mm-hmm. You do not have to agree.
Yeah.
That's the best part about this country, is that you don't have to agree. You can disagree as much as you want, but you can do it with grace and with class and with kindness and compassion. And if people would do more of that and try to be understanding of somebody else's point of view, we wouldn't have as many issues as we currently have.
Yeah, we probably would have. We would have issues. There's never going to be a not issue, but yes,
no,
I know.
But it would be less.
Yeah, and so this 4th of July, I think the only thing that I can suggest to everybody, or even every 4th of July after this, or every day after this, is live the way that I this sounds easy, but treating people the way that you would treat yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a hard thing to do, is you have to look at yourself and say, well, I want to treat myself as a good human. I would want to take care of myself. I'd want to be smiley or happy, and I would want to celebrate my heritage. I would want to celebrate food and my friends around me, and I would like to make sure that my house looks, like the neighborhood makes my neighborhood look good, then it makes my community look good, and those are like simple things, but I think that that's what, when I watch the Sandlot, that's kind of what I get from it. It's like, here's all these like different little boys coming together to make their little baseball field look good, which then in turn makes them feel good, which then in turn but did they destroy a fence and run through the neighborhood and cause havoc? They
definitely did.
Heck yeah, they did. But that was the fun part about that. That's the fun part about being here on 4th of July or being in America, is that, you have those beautiful opportunities to not only create good, healthy memories, but you also have the ability to let loose a little bit. Yeah. And no one's going to go too crazy.
Hopefully.
Well, there always is somebody that takes it too far.
There's going to be some people that take it too far.
And outside of all the political side, this isn't supposed to be political. This is supposed to be fun. And we here at Backyards and Bevvies, I know that we talk about it all the time. And I think it's because I've had the ability to travel the world, and I've had the ability to see different cultures and experience them, not just in a momentary time of like once and done, but be able to live in Europe for a minute and be able to visit and be able to spend time in different places has really given me the ability to be sometimes more compassionate, especially towards people who don't share the same view as me.
Yeah.
And I know coming back to America, many times I was very thankful to be coming back to America, because there were certain things and certain just maybe laws that I was like, oh, wow, I'm so happy. Like I've been pulled over in many countries just because I have a lot of tattoos.
Right.
And, it is interesting because I've been pulled over here too. And judgment's all over, unfortunately. And so all I can say today as a 4th of July celebrator and lover of America is that I know deep down that this country does have great qualities behind it. And I do think that the people inside this country have great, great, great love, not only for their significant other or someone that's right next to them, but for everyone around them. And I think that the more that we continue to show love, the better this country will end up being in the long run.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the only true message, that, tonight, go out and love those fireworks and love the beers and love the food and love your company. But then you also have to wake up tomorrow and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just without the fireworks.
Yes. You may not be having the celebration, but it should still live on.
Yeah. So I don't know. That to me, that's why 4th of July is so special. Is we live in a great place full of great people, and there's always going to be a bad seed.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable. Can't get away from them all. But we live in one of the greatest places ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully, things in a whole can just get better.
Hopefully.
I guess that's the only way to look at it is if you keep aiming up, you're eventually going to get there.
Eventually we'll get there. 100%.
Well, time for hot dogs?
Yeah, and ribs.
You're lying to me. We don't have hot dogs.
I'll go get some. I have to go to the store anyways.
We don't have to get hot dogs. So, on this 4th of July, thank you for tuning in. Well, actually, it's on this July 6th.
When you listen. Just thank you for tuning in regardless of the day.
Thank you for always giving us your time, and we appreciate that. We know that there's so many things that you could do different, or so many different things you could listen to outside of us. And so, just you being here with us in this moment of time is awesome.
We appreciate it.
Anything else, BK?
I don't think so.
You happy about 4th of July?
I'm very happy about 4th of July.
Yeah.
I'm excited to celebrate it with our little dude because he was a very, very young nugget last year on the 4th.
Yeah.
So this year, he'll get to, I don't know if he'll realize it's 4th of July, but it is, and we'll get to celebrate with him. And I'm also looking forward to doing my annual tradition later on this evening, which is to watch Independence Day.
Thanks to Will Smith, we are safe.
Yes, from the aliens. And Bill Pullman. Can't forget Bill Pullman, president.
Yeah, he did an average job.
He did
great.
It
was all Will Smith.
Today is our Independence Day.
See, that was a great movie.
It's a great movie.
All
I watch it every year on 4th of July. That is the tradition.
That is a great one.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be watching that later on tonight.
Might just go put it on loop right now.
Perfect. Might scare our little one. We'll see what happens.
Nah, he'll be fine. He needs to learn how to
fight the
how to be a little tough alien fighter now.
Yeah. Have a very safe and happy 4th of July, everybody.
We thank you so much. Thank you again. And cheers. I think you already finished yours, didn't you?
That's close. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers and bottoms up. Much love, y'all.